Good evening, everybody. This one is for my empaths. Y'all are who I show up for every single day. And if you are on the flip side to somebody who has ever targeted an empath, and you just want to stay to watch this message because you've recognized that this path of self preservation, of never really doing anything genuinely outside of yourself, is not as spiritually fulfilling as you thought it would. You're still experiencing things like depression, anxiety, and you might have made a covenant with an entity that told you that it would take away your fear, your social anxiety, but you still feel it underneath and you know you could be doing better than whatever you're doing right now. I'm speaking with you through love, and you might retaliate in a negative aspect. Just know that we see you. If you are here, we see you. I just want to also thank my empaths for, there was a choice in life that you made where you could have been a better fisherman than you were yesterday, or something could have offered you to be the best fisherman, which would really have been inflating your pride and becoming slowly but surely a narcissist who preys on other empaths. So thank y'all for choosing the right path again. But even on this path of staying away from drama, staying away from diminishing creative, authentic people who have done the work to get to where they are, there is different obstacles in life. I'm saying this because just because you choose the good path does not mean it's the easier path. You do not get rewarded every single day. I mean, you do get your peace, you do get long-term blessings, but you do not get rewarded for being a good person. In fact, you get targeted. You get scapegoated. You get your name smeared. You get like the projection of all these people who cannot face themselves. And a way to deal with that, I'm going to just lay it out on the table, is to not listen to what anybody says. You're on a narrow path. And if you look to the side or you keep paying attention to any distractions, you will fail. This is a hard path. It takes a very specific type of person with a very strong endurance, strong consistency, persistency to walk this path. And that is why I make these messages, so you can understand that you are not alone on this path. It is one of one for you, but it's one of many. But on this path, you're not being distracted, so you have to dedicate yourself to whatever your most highest self or God is calling you to dedicate yourself to. For some, it might be music. I know some of my subscribers are artists. I listen to y'all song if y'all drop it in the comments. I love listening to my subscribers' songs. But it might be art. It might be getting online and sharing messages for other people to hear. It might be financial advice for people who are going the straight path. It's different things. So when you dedicate yourself to these things, there are going to be spiritual attacks. You know what I mean? It's not the hardest path. So God is not going to give you, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought, but God is not going to give you things that you cannot handle. He's going to give you things that make you push yourself ever so slightly so you can grow. That's what I said. You're going to be a better fisherman than you were yesterday. That is not a maybe. That is not a will God push me. It is a you will. It is either you succeed or you fail. And if you've gotten this far, if you separated yourself from people who were not feeding you, if you were even bold or brave enough to take accountability and go on this narrow path of self-improvement, dedicating yourself to your arts, to your work, to whatever gift God gave you, uplifting yourself, your most authentic self in them every single day. If you walk on this path, you're already doing it. You're already here. And a lot of people know that there's no looking back. Once you walk this path, you don't hold up morals. This is what I'm trying to say. You don't hold up morals for years on top of your life. Remember, you're not 8 years old, but 8-year-old you was doing it. You're not 10 years old, but 10-year-old you was doing it. You understand? You don't do these things for decades and decide one day, I don't want morals anymore. I'm good on morals. They've never really fed me. It's just like I just want to be a free spirit and just let the entire world in. And it feels good. You might want to embrace the world, but even if you try it, I'm gonna be honest. Even if you try it, you're hardwired this way. And you have to love that. That is the most beautiful part of you. You are the good in this world. If nobody has told you that today, you are the good in this world. And we need people like you. You might feel lost. You might feel like nobody's there for you. You are the good in the world. So please, please, please stay as you are. But in these moments, to circle back, in these moments of dedication, you know what it's like to dedicate yourself to something, to show up every single day, regardless if you're tired, regardless of if you're not motivated anymore, regardless of if, there could be something else you could be doing. Once you put your mind to dedicating yourself in something, that's your brain instantly starts to wire itself. That is your greatest gift, your greatest purpose, because you have to remember, people say all the time, they go to work, they talk to their coworkers, oh, I was thinking about doing this, but bills are high, but this is this. You walk a path that has no excuses. None. You get up in the morning and you do it. Even if that do it is just showing up for yourself. Even if that do it is just to keep your morals. Even if that do it is to not approach the world in a hateful, angry way. You do it. And a lot of people do not do it. But you do it. But in this path of not feeling like you want to do it some days, not feeling like this is worth it some days, not feeling like the seeds you're watering will blossom as bright as you think it will be, because we all have those days. And the advice that I would give you is some cliche, keep going, but no, that's real though. Not even on some cliche, but keep going. As I'm speaking through from this YouTube video, y'all, when I started this, 10 followers, speaking to nobody, absolutely nobody, but I had a dream, a vision, and you have a dream and you have a vision, and it's going to be brewed so slowly and the right way that no weapon formed against it shall prosper. Regardless if you think you're walking in the light of God, you're walking biblically. And regardless if you want to embrace God, you're embracing his teachings and the path that Jesus Christ put out for people. So he loves you. And he's gonna, let me say this, regardless of if you want to, you're gonna be born again. I'm not saying it as Christian propaganda, but that's how I got here in the first place. You're gonna be born again. You're gonna have this what's it called? Interaction with Jesus, and it's gonna be beautiful. You're not gonna expect it, you might not believe it, but it's gonna mean something to you, and regardless of if you want it or not, the seed will be planted. A seed was planted in you, and you're gonna grow into a beautiful tree that plants other seed. Or you know when like the trees like fall pollen and then it plants other seeds? Is that how it works? I don't know. But that's how, it's going to work spiritually. In the end, keep doing it. We see you, I see you, and have a blessed night. Goodbye.